All right, how about now? That should have fixed it. All right, guys, if you could let me know in the chat. No sound was there, but it should be there now. I think we are good now. Okay, sweet. It's coming through now. I had to hit a button. That worked. Sweet. Good, good, good. Everyone is getting in. Oh, look at my people. I love it. Oh, Andy Q starting out with the super chat, testing it out for $5. Thank you, sir. Do you think Benitez will submit and change his findings? They are putting him through the ringer. I do not believe that he will change his findings. No, I think they are absolutely going to get the assault weapons ban ruling that they deserve because it is brutally unconstitutional. I think it's just a matter of time before it happens. In fact, I'm actually waiting on pins and needles. I've got employees waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. We are all waiting for it. And the second that it drops, we're going to hit it hard because that's going to be massive. Maybe talk a little louder. I can talk a little louder. Don't worry about that at all. All right, I think we are good. Give it a few seconds, get everyone in here. And, I hope you guys are having a great Saturday. I have not done a live chat in a while. And I missed them. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do one tonight. See what happens. See if you guys like this, what your thoughts are, the feedback in the comments. And then we'll talk about stuff. All right, we got Keys Group. Hello, thank you for keeping us informed. Second Minute Issues, my pleasure. I love it. Life, that's interesting. Ninth Circuit might dampen him with some disciplinary crap. It's quite possible. Shout out where we're from, North Carolina. Do you think... I'm from Rhode Island. Do you think there could be any chance of a CCW? I think in time, yes. But right now, it's going to be harder. Oh, sweet. I met Hickok45 today at Dixie Deer Classic. Showed him your channel and said he should do a plug for you since you do so much for us. I would love that. That would be an honor. In fact, fun little story. I've actually met Hickok45 quite a few times at multiple events that we've been at together. But, I mean, honestly, he meets so many people, it does not surprise me that he'd be like, I think I've heard of that guy. Yep, Jason, I saw that. Colorado did just submit an AWB. I will be hitting that tomorrow, 100%. That is okay. Look at all these guys jumping in here. We are currently at 270 or 290 viewers. That's awesome. Good stuff. Nice like ratio. Man, you guys make me proud. I love it. Robert with a super chat. Thank you so much. Do you honestly think Florida will get permitless carry or is it just smoke? Now, Florida... This one is important because Florida is going to get something passed through, and here's why. This is important. Thank you so much, Gonthier. Hope I said that right. Yes, they're going to get something passed through, and here's why they're going to get something passed through. Because DeSantis cannot afford to have an L on his record when he's going to be announcing for president, should he do it. Now, that's the important piece. He's got to get something. Now, what that something looks like, it's a little outside of my realm because, A, I don't live in Florida yet. And on top of that, it's one of those things where it's a little bit of politics, right? I said I was going to get something. I asked for constitutional carry. They got me permitless carry-ish. So I get a win, and now I can announce for president. See, I'm for gun rights. Or it could be that he's truly for open carry, and then the Republicans are a little wishy-washy. Tara with another super chat. Thank you so much. Gun control, using both hands and eyes, gun safety, switch on your piece. You know what, Tara? I support that. And I respect that. That's awesome. All right, we are at 335 viewers with 135 likes. As you guys come in, please hit that like button so we can get this a little bit further out. I love doing lives, but you got to make sure that they're worth your time and they're a fun thing for everybody. Awesome videos. Well, thank you so much. I enjoy making them dramatically. Will South Carolina constitutional carry pass? Ace. That's one of the things that I'm still watching because I know it's kind of a wishy-washy thing that if that one happens. Oh, let me see here. Braden, does anyone know if there's any hope for DV lifetime ban folks to get gun rights back? I don't know. I honestly don't know. There's a lot of pieces to that, and right now the fight is a lot of stuff. Thank you, David. Mention me to the NRA booth. That's awesome. Decent videos. You know what, Frog? I hope that I push over decent and become great in your eyes one day. I appreciate the compliment. Oh, West Tennessee. Let's see. We got Minnesota. How can we help Saint Benitez? Just wait and watch and share the articles when they come out because that's really all you can really do. Brandon says I should come to Idaho. They have good gun laws. Yes, I know. I've actually been to Idaho, and some of the most beautiful country that I've ever seen in my life. I have been told it's too cold and too long, and that's not happening. So there's that. Sorry, guys. It's also the same thing with Alaska. I said Alaska is beautiful, and that wasn't going to happen. Oh, there's an interesting one. What's your take on Columbus, Ohio violating the preemption law? I think that is incredibly interesting. Preemption, if you guys are not familiar, preemption is the laws that were passed in the state level, which basically said cities and towns cannot pass gun laws that supersede state level. That was the idea, and it was in a lot of states. Now, what they've been doing, specifically in Colorado most recently, they've been removing preemption from the state law books. And as they've done that, they've introduced more and more gun control. It's kind of like a 1-2 punch. I think that it'll get smacked down because preemption is pretty ironclad, but it's just going to take time, just like all the other things that we're doing. All right, we got another super chat from Coco Weepa. Thank you so much, Coco. Appreciate it. Just going to catch up on a few of these things. We need lots of help in Michigan. So, Bilbs, I am actually reaching out in communication with a lot of people in Michigan around that very topic. Do not worry. We are watching that as well. Florida, keep fighting for your rights. Yep, that's right. Tracy, I do not know that one. I can't really allude too much to that one. Benitez is going to give me a good birthday present. I hope so. That'd be incredible. Good evening. David's in here. I love that you guys are rocking in here. Awesome. I haven't known one of these in a while, and you guys are kicking it. 382 viewers, so cool. Yes, Colorado did get rid of preemption, Paul. You are correct. What do I think about Lightfoot in Chicago's future? Well, Chicago's going to Chicago. They're extremely progressive and left. It just depends how far progressive and left you want to go. Eventually, even progressive and left people don't like the stuff getting stolen and violence issued upon them. But I don't know. We'll see. All right, and we are at 383 viewers, 234 likes. That is beautiful. Thank you guys so much. Let's see here. Catch up. As you guys know, the rules of the thing is put something in the chat over here. I will try to get to it as fast as I can. Obviously, I can't read all of them, but I try to catch them. And it's something that I really enjoy. So I love doing these live chats. They're awesome. Thank you, Coco. I appreciate that. All right, we got Ohio. We've had Florida. We've had California, Tennessee, Illinois. We've got all sorts of stuff. Rebecca says move to Florida. Rebecca, that is well within the ball rolling. Michael, I love your YouTube channel and the content you put out. I hope to meet you one day. Well, Michael, I go to a lot of events. I'm always at the NRA shows, and I'm always at SHOT Show if you're a vendor of any kind. All right, we got a super chat from Steven. Follow Washington gun law, and we are seeing A.G. Ferguson's bill to sue FFLs pass out of the Senate and into the House. Every day it's something new with the Inslee-Ferguson ruling class. That's very true. So if you guys are not in Washington State, what he's talking about is basically they're always looking for some sort of gun control to push because it's an easy low-hanging fruit to basically boost their bona fides with the far left, right? That's the idea. And this is in Washington State. Now, I actually just met Bill from Washington State in person at the Gundys. That was really cool. But I've also known him for a little while, and we've been working on some stuff back and forth, just here and there. But that is something that we're watching. Here's the thing, and this is honest to goodness my belief. The far left states are going to continue pushing this because it's a litmus test at this point. It's what can I do to infringe because it's low-hanging fruit, like I said. You see the middle who are kind of going wishy-washy. They're kind of staying right in the middle. And then you've got the mid to mid-right that are going, yeah, we need to embrace our gun rights a little bit more, which is why you have a potential of hitting 29 constitutional carry states this year, which would be fantastic. You've got Florida in the works, South Carolina in the works, Nebraska in the works. There's one more that I cannot remember off the top of my head that's in the works. I know Louisiana is right there as well. There's North Carolina, that was it, and North Carolina. So there's definitely a possibility that it could be 29 or 30 out of 50 this year. But let me catch up. If you guys are just now in, welcome back. Yep, Minnesota, that is a really bad bill coming out of there. Come to Vero Beach, Florida. Maine, open carry, that's right, Western New York. Unfortunately, 64 Samsky, there has been a location that is highly classified, but it has been chosen. People leaving from Illinois to Tennessee, I'm seeing that a lot more in the comments. People are they're fed up with the far left stuff, honestly. Get rid of Gavin Newsom, that's true. I think garlic and sunlight would do just fine. Little joke for the people there. Florida, we hard. I mean, Lamar, I get it. I know that it's going to be a thing, but I think they're going to get it. Again, going back to my original point, DeSantis can't have an L on his record going for president, especially with the gun rights crowd, because Florida's very gun rights. Oh, Adam, you did that a second ago. Sorry, I couldn't read it. Any recommendations? What organizations are spending the most on legal cases? GOA, FPC, Second Amendment Foundation, or any other organizations? I want ROI on my donations. Okay, Adam, that's a very good question. So I don't know the spend. I don't know the answer to that. However, I can tell you that the groups amongst those that you just mentioned, the ones that are reaching out to the YouTube people, the channels, the ones that are wanting to get to the people and actually take it directly to the individuals in the population, GOA has done the most action in that regard. Now, I can't tell you again, reinforcing, I can't say how much who is spending and where, but I can tell you that I'm actively seeing outreach from GOA to organizations such as my own. I haven't seen anything from FPC. I know Second Amendment Foundation does a little bit of it, but not for me personally. The only one of those people that I've actually had relationship, well, not really relationship, more of a communication with would be GOA. So I hope that helps. I couldn't really tell you the spend though. Oh, we got a super chat here. The last McCoy. Any update on the ATF abolishment bill and NFA repealment bill? Now that's a very good question. All right. So here's what I want to preface this. We're in a split government right now. The ATF is one of the main enforcement arms of gun control, and they are a very large part of a funding mechanism with alcohol, tobacco, and yes, they do firearms. You're not going to get the Republicans to repeal the ATF on the floor in the House. I just don't think that they would do that because they'd be painted as extreme. Now, from the NFA, you got to do this bite by bite. You eat an elephant bite by bite. You can't just go straight after the NFA in the same way because it allows you to be painted as an extreme. I'm not saying I'm for or against. I'm just saying politically, the optics are challenging in that scenario. So as you go through it from that perspective, I don't believe that it's going to get out of the House. If it does get out of the House, it's definitely not getting out of the Senate. And it's definitely not getting signed by Biden. And there's no veto-proof majority here. So I doubt very seriously those bills will come up as even an option, to be honest. Again, not enforcing or reinforcing or denying any of them. I'm just saying where we're at currently, you have to keep that into effect. And one of the things that you have to be really careful about when we're talking about the different types of bills and different types of things that are introduced in Congress, sometimes these people use bills just to curry favor with certain groups. So even though that has no chance of going anywhere, well, look, I said get rid of the ATF. And look, I'm trying to do the right thing for the Second Amendment, even though they knew the whole time was going nowhere. And that's one of the things that on my channel, I can only speak for my channel. Whenever I cover a bill like this, I will always say the chances or the odds of what it has to overcome. I'm never going to say this is going to happen because it's a very slippery slope when you walk down that road. All right, so welcome in everybody. We are looking at 450 concurrent. That's awesome. Rebecca Johnson, thank you so much for the super chat. That is incredible. Tim, have you heard about Cali Judge Benitez taking fire? Yes, I have. They're going after him pretty hard because they know what he's going to do, and it's pretty straightforward. Ice Cold. Hey, Braden, anything on the Mexico lawsuit? Nothing that I've seen yet. The last I saw was they got thrown out of federal court against the manufacturers, so now they're going after gun dealers in the state of Arizona, I believe. It's either Arizona or New Mexico. I can't remember the exact state, but that's that. So I hope that answers that question. Kansas City, Missouri. Look at all these beautiful people checking in. So what we're going to do... Oh, I just saw something with Frack. Hold on a second. Frack it's a coalition of people, Frog. It's a coalition of people who are basically manufacturers that are against gun control. It's a special action. Yes, welcome to my life. Vanderstock versus Garland. Yes, that is a really good one. The ghost gun cases. Those are solid stuff. Paul, I would agree with your statement there. It is about money. Okay, don't address New Jersey. I'm out of this chat. Every unconstitutional law is still on the books here, and nobody will even address it. That's because you're behind the blue wall. You have to understand, like the blue bastions are going to hit the things that they don't like the hardest, especially on the right. Just like the far right side is going to hit the far left. It's kind of one of those things where the fight is absolutely there, but you have to understand the playing field as well. Raymond, Braden, I think that these anti-gun groups would feel differently about the right to keep and bear arms if they didn't have armed guards protecting them. I would completely agree. Mark says they may as well not pass constitutional carry in Florida. It'll be loaded down with restrictions. So, Mark, that's an interesting point because there's definitely a juxtaposition going on right now in the gun world that says, should we even bother or should we take what we can get? And I mean, I understand completely. I understand completely. There's elements of that bill that are questionable and they're problematic. But there's also elements of that bill that are not questionable and not problematic. It's one of those things where I feel like the Republicans kind of try to throw a bone to both sides, and I feel like that's what was required to get the votes that they wanted. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't in the room, and no one's told me, but that's just kind of what it feels like to me. Uh, you have to move to Florida. Our state is shaped like a gun. Done. It was easy. I was just going to go for the sunshine and the better tax benefits. I'm just kidding. It's also amazing. It's an amazing state. Hunter Outdoors, it's always about the money and control. Very true. Thank you, ACE, Firearms Regulatory Accountability Coalition. I'm in California, so I never get a win. I don't know. Benitez might be handing you guys a win here in the next second. That'll be pretty cool. Oh, this is a very good question. How can states still justify unconstitutional laws post Bruin? And would those impacted be considered political prisoners? I doubt that last part. But how can states still justify unconstitutional laws post Bruin? Because they just want to. It's one of these things where they know it's unconstitutional, but they've known all gun control is unconstitutional. The game that they play, the gun control side of the aisle, they consistently play, they're always playing the game of, well, we're just going to get just close enough where we aren't going to get in trouble, but we're still going to infringe. We don't want those guns, but we know that if we go too far, we'll get smacked down. So we're going to play, I can't say what game we're going to play. We're going to play a little game of just enough to make sure I can get my gun control, make it really terrible and unconstitutional, but not enough to where the Supreme Court would take it up, which is where the AR bans are going next. I'm telling you, the more states that drop these AR ban bills, the more they're drawing attention to it. Colorado, Washington, Illinois, all of them. They're making it harder on themselves in the long run because the SCOTUS is going to pick them up and go, this is bad because now it affects a lot more people. That's the next step. What's going to happen? Oh, that's a good question, Spart. Do you think a national divorce is happening since it's on the table? No, I don't believe so. I think a national divorce is verbalizing a whole lot of frustration, and I understand the frustration absolutely, but I don't personally believe that a national divorce is the right solution. We need calmer heads to prevail, and we need to be able to communicate with each other. That's as simple as it is. My own personal belief, you take the media out of the equation and everyone's stoking the flames from every side, and you might have something a little bit more reasonable. But that's just my own personal take. Too many people have died. Too many people have suffered, sweat, and built this amazing country to have it divorced because people can't communicate. Anyway, that's just my own personal opinion. That's why I do, or at least that's how I operate in my mindset on it. I don't want that to happen. I love our country too much to have it split in half. All right. So man, you guys are awesome. We got 500 viewers, 420 likes. That is incredible. Kicking it solid. I love it. Cat and mouse is what you wanted to say? No, I wanted to say something else, but cat and mouse works just fine. That's awesome. Oh man, let's see here. Jason Fisher, this is an interesting one. What are the chances of the Democrats cutting a deal with the squishy Republicans to bring gun control to the floor through a discharge rule like they want to do with a debt limit increase? I think that's very unlikely. I think that's very unlikely. Sometimes a lot of the commentary that comes from the gun advocacy side, sometimes it can be taken to extreme precautions, and I think that would be an example of an extreme precaution. I think that's highly unlikely, Jason. Yeah, Tim Miller says hit them likes. That's right. We get the likes. Gun control recoil management. Love it. Nevada is open carry. So I always get in trouble when I say Nevada. I for some reason, I think I say it like a Georgian says it. And apparently it's wrong because anyone from Nevada is like, you're saying it wrong. And I'm like, I've always been told it's Nevada. I think sometimes phonetically they're like Nevada. I got nothing. Ace, Braden, did you take a ride in the tank at the Gundy Awards? No, I did not. I did not do that. Raymond, Braden, I love your work and it needs to keep going. The more people learn about the Second Amendment and what the anti-gun politicians are doing, the better. I appreciate that, Raymond. I will absolutely continue. We've got so much stuff coming up, guys. We've got the Second Legacy, where I partnered with Tim from Military Arms Channel. That is an amazing channel, growing really fast thanks to your support. That's something we're doing. I've got another shorts dedicated channel coming with a young lady named Katie. It's already out there, but I'll show you guys later. And then I've got the Second Press, which is becoming a centralized database of anti-gun control stuff. So lots of stuff is happening, and we are going to make it happen. Because America. Kermit the Frog says, I say Nevada right. Okay, I'm going to take your word on it. Smash the like button, says Jay. I would agree. Jay's onto something. Let's see here. You don't say it's Oregon, it's Oregon. Oregon. Yeah, I say Oregon because it seems more free. Do I think Florida has a shot at open carry? Honestly, I think it's going to be a reach to put open carry into that bill. I'm not saying that it's not a noble attempt. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying don't pursue that end, but I think the end result, you're going to lose votes from more wishy-washy Republicans who are more interested in the fundraising from tourism and the impact of open carry than you would actually gain from picking up more, if that makes sense. I don't know. I would love to see it, but I don't know if it's actually possible. We'll see. We're going to see real soon because it's going to come through session. Let's see. Hey, are you going to interview Colion Noir? I would love to interview Colion Noir. He is a cool dude. I've spoken with him on multiple occasions. Really nice guy. Let's see. Let's see here. Oh, snap. Centrazo. Hold on. I think you and Tim from Military Arms Channel was one of the greatest collaborations since Jordan and Pippen. Well, you ain't seen nothing yet. Wait until you see the things we've got in store. I actually had a conversation with him today when I was driving back from Florida. This is going to be epic, and I cannot wait to show you guys and keep you along for the ride. Caleb, keep up the good fight. Thank you so much, Caleb. Let's see. Too many rhinos in Florida. It's true, and it's ironic because Florida's really hot. Rhinos be hot. Constitution 2024. That is right. I love it. How? Hey, have any more states gone constitutional carry? Not yet, Joe. That's a good question. So, right now, honestly, I don't know how long a TRO till the pistol brace rule, but I'm excited, and you guys will know when it happens because you'll hear me scream wherever you are. Any more states gone constitutional carry? Right now, you've got Nebraska, Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Louisiana debating it. So we will see on that one. Prior, Louisiana has consistently had a governor who's vetoed it. So that one might have to wait till 24, but that's awesome. How long till you TRO? Like I said, I don't know how long a TRO because I don't know when the cases are going to come down because they got to be heard first. But I think that's going to happen. Tim looks like a young Kevin Nash from the WWE. You're live, so I got a chance to say it. Love it, Gina Joe. I love it. It's cool with me. I'll make sure to tell him. You and Guns and Gadgets keep us apprised of all coming down the pipe. That's right. We try our hardest. Let's see what else we got over here. Bowser for president. Hey, look at this guy. What's going on with the New York City concealed carry situation? That is something that is still being litigated. It's still got lots of lawsuits, and the Supreme Court does have their eye on it. So that one's that's one that's gonna see. Mike, it's okay. You're late getting in. That is perfectly fine. Tim, I think this could be a fun one. Let's see here. Big picture question. What is your take on all this gun grab, control, and defiance of our Constitution? I'm sure I know the answer, but put it out there. All right, so here's the thing. The gun control side of the aisle, typically Democrats, are dedicated to the fact that they have to continue their push because guns have been identified as the problem. They're not going to all of a sudden magically go, oh, guns aren't the problem. They're going to have to be beaten in court. And that's what you're going to see consistently. This is now a worldview. This is no longer an opinion. This is a worldview. So what you have to have done is just like the Bruin decision. It has to go through the court system, and they have to get smoked in court, and then their whole worldview gets shattered versus just an opinion. Now, they did it to themselves, but they still did it. So at the end of the day, the dirty little secret about gun control is the more that they push and the harder that they try, the more things that get ruled unconstitutional, the more things they can't try anymore. So think of it as like 15 doors right in front of them. If this door gets shut by the SCOTUS, now they got 14. If you continue that all the way down to like 5, then they go, ooh, we've only got 5 more tries. We don't want to mess that one up because we still get fundraising off that one. So we'll say something about red flag laws. And we don't want to mess AR bans up because that one, that's a good fundraiser right there. So you got to keep in mind, like they don't want to kill the golden goose, but they also still have to act like they're going to do it. So it's this game that they're consistently playing. Bet you didn't think I was going to say that, Tim. All right, got some more Nevada stuff in here. This is all good. All right, let me catch it in here. Kathy Hochul. Oh, Kathy. Braden for president. I don't want it. I'll take senator. Seems like a nicer gig. Oh, man. House of Lamar? That is a good question. Every one of y'all, I'm going to enjoy this one. Why do you remain so optimistic on the future of the Second Amendment? Very good question. Here's why. We have a nation that is conservative over a majority of the landmass. We have the Second Amendment rights that are in our Bill of Rights. We have a friendly Supreme Court to the Bill of Rights. We have the Bruin decision that just came out, which is striking down gun control left and right nationwide. We have 25 states that have gone constitutional carry, a lot of them in the past 2 years, with 4 more pending right now. Could end up at 29 before you got the end of this year, or really the end of the middle of the year when the sessions end in the state levels. You've got people picking up the Second Amendment across the board at unprecedented rates in unprecedented categories. Minorities and women are a good example. The watermark for gun purchases every year annually is still continuing to rise. You have full-scale adoption of the Second Amendment in the economic centers of the United States. That's why. We have a cultural understanding that the Second Amendment is our right. You have a very loud minority that says, no, it's not. You don't have a right to the gun. And then the Supreme Court says, yes, they do. Stop talking. That's why. We've got the Miller decision. We've got the McDonald decision. We have the Bruin decision. We have the Heller decision. The 4 horsemen of the gun control apocalypse. That's why. America. All right. See what else we got here. But thank you for the question. Splash of orange, that's a fun one. Any long-term chance of all this recent overreach attention leading to the NFA being overturned? Possible, it's not highly likely, but it is possible. The ATF could actually have undermined the NFA completely with the pistol brace rule. It is possible, but the SCOTUS typically doesn't like to overreach the question that they're talking about. And I mean, it is potentially possible. That's some of the language that we're talking about. Anyway, 10 million. I'll vote for you. Hey, I appreciate that. That's 1 vote for Braden. Ooh, Ace. If I could change any one person's mind about gun control, who would it be? That's a really good question. So here's the thing. Here's the criteria. Because you're not going to get the entire gun control movement completely turned around by changing one person's mind. So the way I look at it is might as well have someone fun turn around so then you can see what happens when they do it. There's so many choices. Elizabeth Warren would be a great one. Bernie Sanders would be a good one too. I don't want to say Shannon Watts. That Moms Demand Action, that seems too easy. Seems too low-hanging fruit. You know what? I'm going Davy Hogg. That would be the ultimate irony, and I would love that more than anything. That would be hilarious. All right, we got a super chat. When are putting in common use laws? Okay. When are they putting in common use laws for 50 states, and when can they not ban ARs? They can't ban ARs when the Supreme Court makes a decision that says, stop doing that, you're not doing it right. You're doing the constitutional thing wrong. Braden, how many Democrats do you think own gun stocks? I don't know. Probably a lot. Mike, I don't know what that is. Braden, okay, that's a good one. That's a very good question, Dustin. J95, I'll hit that in a second. Dustin, with a super chat, do you yourself open carry? Any thoughts on it? I do not open carry because, in my opinion, it draws attention to you, and that kind of conflicts with the whole point. You want to be, or at least in my opinion, I want to be safely protected without a lot of attention, because if something goes wrong, I don't want to be the first one that everyone looks at, including the bad guy. So that's kind of my thought on it. Braden, in your opinion, with all CC companies eventually start flagging ammo purchases? I don't know if all CC companies will start flagging them, because you do have the ability to have individual companies not take part in it. So there's a lot of different pieces to that. But I think that they showed extreme cowardice giving up to Amalgamated Bank, making the ISO do this. I think personally that there should be other banks pushing the ISO to put them different credit card codes for things that are important on the left, like, oh, I don't know, women's healthcare choices. That'd be a fun one. See how many spicy opinions you get on that one. JB's Garage with a super chat. Thank you so much. Great channel. Keep fighting the fight. You know, with that, it is time for a coffee sip. All right, let's see here. Ooh, Fetterman. All right. Y'all tell me about that Minnesota bill. I will absolutely have a video on that pretty soon. We are devoting our attention to that. I've also reached out to Minnesota, a lot of people in Minnesota, waiting for hear back on that one. Lifted from above, can you please focus on Minnesota? I absolutely will. That is something that I literally have an employee, my first employee ever, looking into that. She did it all week. Minnesota, Michigan, Colorado, and Washington. What kind of coffee do you drink, says Chazzy? And I say any kind that keeps me awake. It is not blackout coffee. And that's not for a reason. I just don't have any blackout coffee right now. Jay says, boycott Discover Card. I would agree. Do you think Texas will flip to the blue side? Hell no, I do not. Lifted up, thank you. I agree. Banks do have no choice or no right to track anything like that. What coffee is the most two-way friendly? I'll be honest with you. Blackout coffee is pretty two-way friendly. Legitimately, Jared's coffee is, yeah, he wouldn't be involved. J954, Katie from Classic Firearms. That is correct. She is a part of Langley Outdoors Academy, the second press, and she's part of her own YouTube channel as well, which you guys will hear about later on. But yeah, she is working with me now. That is correct. Folgers. I can't do Folgers. Ace, the question, Caliber Coffee. Isn't Caliber Coffee owned by Palmetto State? I feel like they are. Black Rifle Coffee is getting sued. Yeah, that seems to be the thing. Chewing bubblegum. I can't say that on a live stream. I can't do that. Oh man, that's hilarious. We want more of these live shows. Well, don't worry. I can do more of these. This is possible. Any more news about North Carolina going constitutional carry? That's a great question, Jim. Ooh, man, thank you guys so much for those super chats. You guys are incredible. Man, I got to catch up on 3 super chats. Hold on a second. And then I'll hit Jim. I'll hit North Carolina in a second. What do you think of them trying to have... WHO. WHO trying to have our sovereignty. What are your thoughts? I don't think that'll ever happen, let me rephrase that. I don't think that's likely to happen anytime soon, particularly the fact that the Senate has to ratify those types of treaties, and Biden can't just do it by himself. He ain't wrong, though. Oh, Dan, thank you so much for the super chat. Dustin, let's see what you said down here. And there's another super chat. Thoughts on Georgia swinging substantially back to the right with every statewide Republican winning by almost double digits, but Walker still narrowly, wow, I cannot read right now. Narrowly, there we go, losing. I think that was a candidate quality issue. I don't think that was anything else. I think Georgia did swing back to the right pretty hard, but I think the candidate there was a weak candidate, to be completely honest. I think that's what happened, at least in my opinion. Any more news about North Carolina going constitutional carry? Yeah, that's a few things. Matt says Katie's why I watched. That's hilarious. Well, then I've got a channel for you coming pretty soon. Actually, it's already out technically, but anyway. Your channel is greatly informative. I'll come to Langley when I get my rights back. Hey, I appreciate that. Yeah, Katie is cool. So the big thing with North Carolina, because I want to hit that in a second. The thing with North Carolina getting constitutional carry, they can do it, but they have to do it through a veto override of a gubernatorial veto. So in North Carolina, they have the House, which is a supermajority, and the Senate is short one, or it's the other way around. No, I'm sorry. The Senate is the supermajority. The House is short one of a supermajority. So to pull off a Democrat, I think it's completely possible. I think it's possible this year. In fact, a lot of the grassroots people have said that's one of the things that they want to hit on. Well, no, it's possible, David. It is possible through veto override. Now, if they get it in there through, that's a different. I mean, they have the votes to pass it. The question is not will they pass it. The question is if they can get it over a veto, and they need one Democrat to peel off, which they have had a lot of success peeling off Democrats around that stuff. So there is that. Um, can you send me a half pound of that attitude? Mine is not so optimistic. Well, make sure you're subscribed to this channel, Second Legacy, and just hang around. I promise it's contagious eventually. We got some of this freedom up in here. Whiskey in that cup. No, there's no whiskey. This is just pure coffee. I promise. Man, I swear, if Katie's watching this live stream, she's getting all sorts of love in these chats. It's hilarious. I don't know who gives a better discount on Blackout Coffee. I honestly don't know. I imagine since Jared's one of the owners, he would give you the best, but I don't know. Missed the live shows. Glad you're back. Yep. I'm just kind of floating one out there, seeing how it's received. God, I am so tired. Oh man. House of Lamar. Why do you think people are so pessimistic about the 2A future? In my personal opinion, the reason that people in the 2A are so pessimistic about the 2A future is because that is something that has consistently been attacked and attacked and attacked and attacked. And there hasn't been a lot of defense over the past 20 years, 30 years. And if you've been involved in this fight for that long, it can very easily get discouraging. And I think the current events and the current wins, which have happened recently in like the last 2 to 3 years, it's one of those things where people don't fully believe it's all the way there. I think that's honestly, they're so used to getting smoked by people, by lefties, that it's kind of like, I don't even know the right term for it, but I think they're just used to getting punched, so they don't want to get punched again. That's what I think. Yeah, Katie did enjoy tasering Clint. I'm sure she said that. That's hilarious. I haven't seen Tulsi Gabbard's speech on CPAC yet. I promise if it's worth it, I will cover it. Because I find her very fascinating. Gotta stay positive. I live in New York and always fight for my rights. That's the way we gotta do it. Let's see. Oh, believe me, Ace, we're never giving up on our 2A rights. A lot of the stuff that's going on right now, we're still moving pretty solid. Like there's a lot of fights, a lot of momentum and energy that's going in the right direction. So we're pretty good. Super chat from Jedi Master. Thoughts on the Michigan gun control bills that dropped? So if you guys are not familiar, Michigan, what he's referring to, you've got the safe storage laws, the enhanced background checks, which is universal background checks, and you have red flag laws. I think that universal background checks and safe storage laws both require statewide registries, so that's not good. And red flag laws are a violation of due process, which will eventually end up in the Supreme Court. So I think they're all three terrible, but that doesn't mean that they're not necessarily going to get them, but they can only lose one Democrat, and that's important. Braden, what time frame are we looking at in your opinion on the pistol brace emergency injunction? I don't have a time frame because they haven't heard the cases yet, but I think that it has potential to be in the next couple months. I don't see it going too long, because it's got to be before, or you would think it would have to be before the actual date of July 1st, I believe is the date when they go. Stay positive and spread the new word to everyone that you know. That's right, the dude. That's what I'm talking about. Ooh, that's a fun question, Dustin, with a super chat. Tulsi Gabbard's a young world leader with the WEF. Yeah, I didn't say I supported her. I said I find her fascinating. The turn that she did was head snapping. All right, so do you think we're reaching the ceiling with constitutional carry? How many more states are realistically left? I'm thinking Florida, South Carolina, Nebraska, North Carolina, Wisconsin, Nevada, Louisiana, and Virginia. I think that's a pretty fair assessment. I think that's a pretty fair assessment. If you're looking at constitutional carry in all 50 states, I think that's unrealistic. At this point in time, you're talking about the far left blue bastions on gun control aren't going to go constitutional carry at all. That's not happening anytime soon. So that's at least 9 to 10, depending on your definition. So I bet you could cap out around 35. I bet 35, 36, something like that. I think that's a pretty good list. But I don't think that you're gonna get those big ones to do it, the big gun control states. Oh, hold on a second. I just missed something. Oh, sorry, I'm catching up on all chats. Bear with me for a second. I'm from the government. You can trust me about that. That's true, Ace. It's all about the power of people. When will we see Katie again? You will see her this month on this channel. You'll see her this month on Second Legacy, me and Tim's channel, and you'll also see her on her channel. So you'll see a lot more of her. She's going to be a staple across the channel. I'm kind of building a network, and it's really exciting. It's really exciting to see it all coming together because we're like this close to being completely finished anyway. So, got a super chat from Mike. Think we'll be successful at stamping out the Illinois assault weapons ban. Any updates on the TRO? I'm really not trying to register my long pew stake. I don't blame you. So there was actually a new unconstitutionality ruling that happened, I believe, today in the lower court, or Friday, not lower court, in the lower state of Illinois. So there was another unconstitutionality ruling, which a lot of things are popping. I got a lot of things I got to catch you guys up on. But that one, I think the Illinois AWB is not going anywhere. I think the Washington State AWB is going to come out. I think the Colorado AWB is going to come out. But I don't see them going very far because they're going to run into a brick wall. And the more that they do this, the more it's going to completely infringe, or excuse me, and completely draw the attention of the SCOTUS. That's just saying. Welcome to my life. Honestly, I think this is a pretty good assessment for a lot of people. Honestly, I've been only slightly pessimistic because I'm tired of the back and forth, but more cautiously optimistic for each win. I think that's a fair assessment. I'm very optimistic because I genuinely see forward momentum. I see this happening. But if you've been in this fight for a minute, I understand why you'd be cautiously optimistic. I think that's wise, honestly. Don't count on Florida. It's only for political reasons. Yeah, but if it happens, I mean, if you get constitutional carry without open carry, are you going to throw the baby out with the bathwater? I mean, could you always add open carry at another session? Is it possible? Yeah. Just saying. Dan Smith, I heard another preliminary injunction has been issued regarding the ghost gun law. Does this mean that the rule is done and people can buy lowers? I got to research it further. I know Jared did a video on it, but I got to do a little more research on that one. It's another thing I got to catch up on. I'm just trying to catch all these things. Trying to catch up. I don't want it to ignore you guys. You guys are very, very vocal in the chat, and I love that. She's not in Classic Firearms anymore. The dude is all about evangelism with the gun rights. I love that. Got some Tulsi conversations, Wisconsin. Oh, man. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure that we are all good. Looks like you guys are starting to have conversations with yourselves. That's fun. All right, we got Splash of Orange with a super chat. Thank you so much, Splash. That is awesome. All right, so man, this is some good stuff. You guys are really, really rolling. Carry open. What's up, fam? What's up, contractor? I have a ghost tank in the driveway. That's great. All right, so we are sitting currently at 545 concurrent viewers. That is awesome. 678 likes. That is good stuff. I'm going to roll this thing till right about 9 o'clock. So get your questions in now if you want to talk, because you guys know that I think we are winning this gun rights fight in the long term, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. Misfits 13 Actual, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. You guys are extremely generous. I honestly appreciate it. Oh, man. What are my chances here on the West Coast and Northern California? With Gavin Newsom, it's not looking pretty. Just saying. You need to research Iowa. I promise. I've seen Iowa, but there's too much corn and it's just too flat, and there's not enough ocean. I've determined. I've made my stance. Virginia would be really cool. Do you see New Jersey get a permanent stay in our carry rights? Yes, I do. I think that New Jersey concealed carry law they passed was an abomination. I think that's legitimately just going to get smoked. Oh, man. Katie could make Newsom a conservative. You guys are hilarious in these chats. Oh, that's funny. Oh man, let's see. Braden, have a contest. The comment section can generate a present amount of super chats. You'll have your eyebrows shave your eyebrows off. You game? Nope. This is the moneymaker. Can't mess with this. If the entire NFA and the Hughes Amendment magically went away overnight, what's the first thing you would buy? You know, the first thing that I would buy, honestly, I would do two things. I'm not a huge fan of any type of full auto. It's cool, but I just don't see it as practical. I would absolutely go with a really sweet SBR or a whole lot of suppressors. I know it's boring, but that's what I would do. Full autos just don't tickle my fancy. I don't know, they just never have. They're fun. I think the Mutant is probably the best full auto I've ever fired. But, you know, that's just my own personal stake. What do you guys think? I would love to hear your thoughts on that. Someone just asked me something that I thought was interesting. Walk softly and carry concealed. Amen. How many likes do we have? I see 706 likes. Something about a Karen. That's true. I prefer open carry, but I cover up so Karen don't wig out. I just don't open carry just because I just don't want to deal with it. Kind of the same thing. Oh, let's see. Super chat from Dustin. Since you prefer concealed carry, does open carry bother when you see others doing it? Or do you see it as a matter of personal preference? I genuinely see it as a matter of personal preference. That's your thing. If you thought that through, you thought that through. Now, the one thing that does bug me a little bit, and this doesn't bug me on a rights standpoint because it's perfectly within the rights. When people open carry ARs and stuff of that nature, it's kind of like you're inviting a lot of stuff to that. Yes, on principle, you're 100% correct, but just because it's on principle doesn't mean you necessarily do it. I mean, again, I'm not saying it's wrong, and I'm not saying I'm against it, because it's totally within the rights of a whole lot of states. But that's my thing, is if I'm looking at open carry, it's preference. But if you're carrying a rifle like that, then you have potential to draw a lot of attention to yourself, which may or may not be great. That's my only thought. Keith McLeod with a monster super chat. Thank you, Keith. Thanks for your work. Been watching you for years. Man. That's commitment, Keith. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. It's funny. I recognize a lot of your names. Like the ones that have been with me for a while, I recognize them in there, and I'm like, oh, how they doing? I hope they're doing great. I'll call you guys out when I recognize them. Chris says Braden for president. SBRs is great. That's right. SBRs is great. Yeah, Mark, I agree. Like I said, it is their choice. I'm only saying preference. I'm not saying they're right or wrong. I'm just saying it's their preference. Oh, ask Kyle. Yeah, no, I know. Like I said, I'm not saying it's wrong. What's Colorado's law where government officials cannot knowingly violate... Oh, man, it bounced. Man, I got to find that again. Hold on a second. Dang. There we go. When officials cannot knowingly violate the state or federal constitution, it passed in 2018. I don't know that law, but it seems like I really like it. Let's see here. Oh, Super Chat's coming in again. Obviously, LOA and Guns and Gadgets are great. Other Pro 2A guys I like. Mike Glover, Garand Thumb, Heavy Duty Country, Jericho Green, all good channels. I appreciate that. I know a lot of those guys. Some of them I don't, though. Like, personally. I mean, I know their channels. I don't know them personally. Splash of Orange, thank you so much. 25 states joined the ATF suit. 25 didn't, though. Thoughts? Makes sense. You're not going to have all 50 states do that. I think the most you would be able to get in that suit would be around 30 mid-30s, 32, 35, somewhere in there. But some are just kind of lukewarm on the topic. Some of them aren't going to join it. But, I mean, for 25, half the country, that's a big deal. Braden for SCOTUS, not even remotely close. Have you ever listened to some of their SCOTUS decisions? I would fall asleep at the bench. That wouldn't be good. Real boring. That's why you got to have someone like me. It makes it all spicy and fun. How long until the pistol brace rule is toast? A lot of people are saying March, June, May, somewhere in there. Not March. May or June, I think. Mr. President, who is Katie? Katie is my first ever employee. She is Katie from Classic Firearms. And if you look at their older videos, you'll see her. She's the blonde girl. Or blonde woman. Let's be respectful. The blonde woman. And she now works with me and has her own channel with me. And she'll be making appearances on my channel and on Second Legacy with Tim. So you will definitely see her. Absolutely. That's funny. At least Vice President Braden. Okay. Ooh, there's a fun one. What's your gun choice, or what is your gun of choice for carry? I can rock with anything that's a full size. I really like a full size gun. I don't love the compacts and the subcompacts. I have big old bear paws, so I don't love little subcompacts. So I mean, I'll get anything from a 19 upward, like a 19 to a 17 size is really nice. Springfield XDMs are really nice. I like the 1911 style on that one. That's just my own personal opinion. But I can rock a 19 or a 17. They're perfectly fine. I think they're quality mass produced guns. The one thing that I don't like about Glocks, this is the only thing. Now, you Glock people out there, don't get upset at me for this. But the only thing that I don't like about Glocks is they come so bare bones that you have to spend the same amount of money as the Glock itself to make it worthy of like extreme accuracy or adjusting the trigger pulls or doing the different pieces. I mean, that's the only thing that I don't like. But, you know. Oh man, but SIGs are great. You guys talking about SIGs in here, and Glocks are good. I have no complaints with any of the brands that we're talking about. Canic, also pretty good. Nothing wrong. There's a lot of. Hey, I am not a I am not a Glock hater. I said the reason I don't prefer them, Sean. Oh, that's hilarious. DeSantis and Langley. Oh, that'd be fun. That'd be fun. I would absolutely do that just on principle. I'd be like, run, Ronnie D. Let's go spread some gun rights. Smith & Wesson MP2. Yeah. The only thing I haven't been a fan of Smith & Wesson is their triggers are very squishy. Well, then I've been to the wrong parts of Iowa, Michael. PSA Dagger, I've actually run an entire training course with that. It didn't break. Walthers? Oh, you got class, Centrazel. I see you. All right. See, now this is the part where we start to get into into the preferences. Let's see here. Man, you guys are getting spicy. This is what I'm talking about. No one cares about Glocks. See, now we got the Glock fight starting. I can't have a Glock fight on my live stream. That's not acceptable. CZs. CZ's the only thing I don't like. Like the racking. It's such a shallow little slide. That's the only thing I don't like about them. They're not bad. Oh wow, chewing bubble gum. I said it right then. Channel shoutouts continued. That's awesome. Springfield XDS, the gunfight. Yeah, I don't want to get in the gunfight. 1911 is tasty and delicious. I do love it that. James Bond. All right, so here's where we're at, guys. Here is where we're at. We are sitting at 542 viewers, which has been pretty much the consistent average. DeSantis Braden 2024. I'm done, Splash. I love it. I'm going to wrap this thing up at 9, so about 8 minutes. So get your chats over here. I'm glad you can get in here, Novus Nick. That's awesome. Ruger is I really like Ruger's rifles. I like their hunting rifles. I think they spend a lot of time and energy engineering really good hunting rifles. They're not my first choice for pistols, but they are really good hunting rifles, so that's good. Make sure everything's solid over here. Yeah, we're good. Chazzy, love you back. Just catching up, making sure I get you guys before I bounce out. SRC9 is nice. Okay. What's up, Dirt Road? I honestly, Steven, I don't know enough about Walther to say which one's more reliable. I don't want to give you the wrong thing here. Just came in, what are we talking about? Oh, we are wrapping up some freedom, food, guns, and fishing. We are talking about pretty much anything you guys ask about the gun world, the gunfights, what we're doing. Black Rain Ordnance is a good rifle. I would agree, Philly. Nothing wrong with that. Nice P95 on my waist now. Henry are cool lever actions. I like Henry. Those are neat. Have you tried hunting with an AR? I have. I enjoy it. I love it. I like the idea of hunting with an AR. I like the idea of hunting with a bolt gun. I like all of it. What's up, Jamie? Welcome in. Maddie, thank you. I love your channel and Second Legacy. Keep it going. Thank you. You're going to love what we have coming for Second Legacy here pretty soon. Had some really great conversations today, and I am amped. Steven, you rock, Braden. Thank you. Raven, guns are good. I agree. Crashed, just picked up a new rifle, a new Ruger 308 rifle. Very nice, very nice. I love that. Yeah, the American's a good series. You know, one thing that's interesting, actually, since you guys are bringing up Ruger, the the straight back pull, that is an interesting, the bolt action where they pull it straight backwards. I can't remember what the branding term is, but that's a very interesting experience. If you're used to a bolt action on the side going over, it's an interesting experience. Dustin with a super chat. Do you see Brian Kemp running for Senate in 2026? I don't think so. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think he would win, but I mean, honestly, I would take anybody over Pajama Boy. I can't remember his name right now. The other senator, little man boy. What's his name? Ossoff, John Ossoff. I'm good. Remington SPS 300 Win Mag, rifle to have. It's a very good rifle, Virginia. That's true. About to dip. That's right. Hey, awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you, Frog. And I'm about to dip as well. I got five. John Assoff. I've got 5 minutes till I bounce out. How about Fetterman? That was the disappointment of the generation right there. Way to go, Pennsylvania. Stacey Abrams, she's lost too many times, just like Beto's lost too many times. That's my own personal belief anyway. All right. PSA is a juggernaut. You are not wrong. Fetterman, yeah, that was hurt. That was a painful one. Been keeping up with you, Guns and Gadgets, Arms Scholar, Four Boxes Diner. You guys do an awesome job. The Second Amendment shall not be infringed. I would agree, Raven. Thank you for watching. John Kennedy and Boebert. I actually met Lauren Boebert at SHOT Show. I ran into her on accident in the middle of a casino, and I was like, So me and my clever turn of phrase, all the words that I can always say, all I could come up with when I walked, I ran literally right into Lauren Boebert, and I said, "Well, that's not something you see every day." That was what I said to Lauren Boebert. I know, it actually happened. Swear. Brayton, you rock. Thank you. Hey, I'm glad, John. I'm glad it's landing. AR-10s are really cool. Too many people hate her. Lauren Boebert is a little firecracker. Yes, she is. She's surprisingly shorter than I thought. Jamie, I really did that. That really happened. That's a true story. This live stream was awesome. I'm glad. It was awesome. Matt, dude. Maybe oh yeah. Goodness gracious. Katie is gonna, I can hear her blushing right now. Man, we kept around 550 or 550 viewers on this thing the whole time. 800 likes. That's awesome. Dustin with another super chat. Should we start focusing on expanding stand your ground laws and castle doctrine laws? Those are extremely important. Thoughts on 2024 DeSantis? I think DeSantis has the best chance. It's my own personal opinion. That is only an opinion. It's not an endorsement of any kind. Those are extreme. Sorry, stand your ground laws and castle doctrine. I think stand your ground laws and castle doctrine laws are very important. I think they should be spread out. Katie's channel. What is Katie's channel? I will put it in here. That is the channel name. In fact, because I like you guys so much, likes numbers are going up. That's right. Because I like you guys so much, I'm actually going to go over here and I'm going to get Katie's channel and I'm going to link it because I like you guys. All right, here we go. This is because I like you guys. She's gonna kill me, but it's okay. There you go. I linked it. That is Katie's new channel. So jump on over there if you want to see what we have coming, because that is something that is really a cool thing that does not exist, and she is spearheading it, and I am excited to have her on board with it. Lee, love your command of the English language. You speak eloquently and don't avoid using big words lest you lose some people. I enjoy being spoken to as a reasonably literate adult. Thank you. Well, Lee, I'm just glad I could get through that comment without messing it up, because that would have been awkward. Thanks for the live chat. I loved it. I've had fun. I'd vote for her for president. I don't blame you. Make sure you guys check out Katie's channel. For those of you who are a Katie fan, that is the channel linked in the pinned description. And any possibility Trump could be VP for DeSantis? Not in Trump's head. Why go for president when you could be VP? I mean, excuse me, why be... Yeah, whatever. You know what I meant. I don't. Subbed. Thank you, Paul. Thoughts on Connecticut bills being pushed this week? I'm actually speaking in a CCDL, the Connecticut Citizens Defense League, a meeting tomorrow about just that. All right, sub to Katie. Cannot wait for more content. That's awesome. Yeah, it's up in the pinned comment. Oh, dang, Frank. Okay, I see you. Caleb, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Jamie, Louisiana took the money, Braden. What the heck, man? I'm curious. Well, money can do to things to people. Dustin with a super chat. You're doing great. You need more of these. Thank you so much. I have no problem with doing that. BK Will just subscribed. That is awesome. I assume you mean to Katie's channel. Good stuff. She'll be like, why did I have a big spike last night? I don't know. I don't know. See how long she figures it out. But yeah, you guys subscribe to that. All right. So it is 9 o'clock. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I appreciate every single one of you. I hope to do these more often. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a comment below if you are still hanging around. I'm going to wrap this bad boy, and I will see you tomorrow when we break down some more breaking stuff of how we are going to pass the blessing of the Second Amendment along to the next generation. Until then, see you later.